So Latifah's Khamarah, this has been a fragrance that, at most websites, I would say is kind of in and out of stock for the most part. And if you're not familiar with the way that this fragrance smells, this is pretty much, it's just a really sort of sweet, thick, dense sort of scent, I would say. It features notes like praline, dates, vanilla, tonka bean. So it is definitely a sort of gourmandish, style fragrance, I would say. It does get compared to Angel Share a lot. This really doesn't smell anything like Angel Share. I would say there's maybe like some slight hints of, sort of what that Angel Share DNA smells like. But this is definitely a little different than what Angel Share actually smells like. But if you are, a lover of Angel Share and maybe you're looking for something a little bit denser, then this is going to be, the type of fragrance that you're going to want to look for. Now, this fragrance is not always going to be in stock at most websites that carry Middle Eastern fragrances. However, what I have seen is this fragrance here, which is Ard Al Zaafaran Riqqa. This fragrance does seem to be in stock at most websites most of the time. All right. Now, this fragrance, this was sent to me for free from Banadier Fragrances. So again, shouts out to Celine from Banadier Fragrances for sending me this fragrance. And this definitely, I would say, has a very nice presentation to the fragrance as well, just like the original Khamarah does. So this basically, it opens up booklet style like that. So it's a very unique looking box. As you can see on the front here, you've got the name of the fragrance, and then you have nothing really on the side other than just kind of like this like textured design that goes around the whole box. You have like this sort of wood texture feel to the box here, like on the sides, the top and the bottom. You've got like your manufacture date down there at the bottom as well. This one was manufactured in September of 2023. And then on the back here, you've got the Ard Al Zaafaran authenticity sticker. You've got like the, believe these are like the ingredients in Arabic. And then you've got like the barcode and UPC down there at the bottom. All right. Then you've got this here on the front of the inside of the box. So this is the ingredients written here in English. I'm not sure if that's the same thing that's on the back. And then obviously you have the bottle that kind of sits in there like that. All right. So, I mean, I would say if I wasn't someone who was like super familiar with fragrances, especially like Middle Eastern fragrances, and I just kind of like saw this sitting on a display shelf, I would think that this, would be more than like a $30 fragrance. So it definitely, I would say the presentation is pretty nice on this one. And then as you can see here, this is pretty much what the bottle looks like. All right. So it looks kind of like a flask almost to me. The cap is, I would say, kind of like a lightweight sort of, metal or whatnot. So, I mean, it's not like super expensive feeling, but not super cheap either. I would say the worst part about this bottle is the sprayer, though. The sprayer just doesn't, in my opinion, have a very good feel to it. And then also it just doesn't really spray out, in my opinion, that much juice either. But I mean, it's okay. Now, pretty much when it comes to these two fragrances, Khamarah and Riqqa, these, in my opinion, are like, they're damn near identical, in my opinion. I really don't pick up on too many differences really at all, I would say, between the two fragrances. Now, what I will say is when it comes to Riqqa, in my opinion, and I mean, I've tested this a couple of times, it just seems like in the far dry down of Riqqa seems to have, I would say, it basically, it kind of radiates off of my skin a little bit better than what Khamarah does. And again, this is going to be in the far dry down. So I would say this is going to be after like probably 4 to 5 hours or so of wearing the fragrance, it just seems to me like Khamarah gets a little bit more closer to my skin than what Riqqa does. But I mean, in terms of just like the overall smells themselves between the two fragrances, I feel like these are pretty much identical for the most part. So I would say if you already own Khamarah, then absolutely do not buy Riqqa. If you smelled Khamarah and you didn't like it, absolutely do not buy Riqqa. I would say Riqqa is going to be for someone who hasn't, experienced, I would say, Angel Share or, Khamarah Kawa, anything like that. So if you're someone who hasn't smelled this type of fragrance, then I would say that Riqqa is definitely going to be a nice choice for you. Like I said, it's definitely going to be an option for you where you're going to be able to pretty much find this almost anywhere. I haven't really seen too many places that have had Riqqa sold out. Really, I can't really think of anywhere that did actually have it sold out. So I think a lot of people don't necessarily know about this one. More people just more so know about Khamarah. But these are the exact same fragrances, pretty much just done by, different fragrance companies or houses. So overall, like I said, this is going to be for someone who, just pretty much they are oblivious to what Khamarah smells like, and they're wanting like a really long lasting beast mode projecting, sort of sweet gourmand type of fragrance. That I would say has a slight sort of Middle Eastern sort of feel to it, because you do kind of get like a Middle Eastern sort of spiciness to this fragrance, both Riqqa and Khamarah. So that's pretty much, I would say, going to be for, who this fragrance is going to be for. In terms of performance, like I said, you're going to get about the same thing that you get with Khamarah, except again, in the far dry down, I would say that this is slightly stronger than what Khamarah is. But I would say overall, the two fragrances in terms of like their total longevity, they're the same. Like you're going to get, at least on my skin anyway, 10 to 12 plus hours with both fragrances. Just again, with this one, maybe pushing out just a little bit more, than what you get with Khamarah. But overall, man, quality of smell, the closeness of smell between the two, they're identical. There's just that one little difference there for the most part. Now, both of these fragrances, you can pick up from banadierfragrance.com. I'll have links in the description to where you can buy both of these. I believe Salim still has Khamarah, the full bottle. And then obviously he has Ard Al Zaafaran's Riqqa as well. All right. So definitely if you are brand new, I would say, to this sort of scent profile, again, really sort of sweet, dense, sort of spicy, gourmandish type of fragrances. If you haven't necessarily experienced a fragrance like that, then I would say, possibly check this out. It is going to be a little bit more on sort of like the feminine leaning side, just because of the fact that it is a very sort of sweet fragrance. So if you don't like sweet fragrances, then I would say definitely stay away from both of these. But if you are someone that, really likes sweet fragrances, or you don't mind a sweet fragrance, then I would say absolutely, check out Ard Al Zaafaran's Riqqa, as well as Khamarah as well. I would say just pick between, one of these pretty much. So really, I would say it probably comes down to price as far as what you can find each one of these for. And also it may come down to the presentation. So maybe some people may not like the presentation on Riqqa, and they may prefer the presentation on Khamarah, or, vice versa. So really it just all, I would say, kind of depends on stuff like that for the most part. All right. So let me know in the comments, have you all actually smelled Ard Al Zaafaran's Riqqa. Have you smelled this fragrance? Did you like it? Have you also smelled Khamarah, and do you agree with my assessment that these are basically the exact same fragrances, just in different bottles done by different companies? Let me know in the comments below. And once again, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe. And also to anyone watching, do me a favor, go ahead and leave a like on the video. And again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.